Lord boats that now must deck our kings, carry them here and there, jumping o'er time, turning the accomplishments of many years into an hourglass.
Which supply and its mean chorus to this history, who prologue like your humble queen pray, gently to hear, kindly to judge our play.
A lot of things started falling into place once we got the setting.
Evening! Good evening! That's better. Glad to see y'all down here at the Union Hall tonight.
When David said he wanted to do Henry V and to connect it to the labor movement and labor struggles, that is what redeemed the play for me, because it's just kind of a militaristic, triumphalistic tale, the way it's usually played.
Extra, extra, read all about it!
1902, child labor bill voted down a big majority in House of Representatives.
1914, 75 miners machine gunned to death by National Guardsmen, Ludlow, Colorado.
1916, industrial workers of the world killed in police action. 1927, yellow dog contracts with employees force workers to sign away their rights.
1937, two mighty monarchies clash. Flint, Michigan. Victory!
The play is based off of the Flint, Michigan GM strike of 1937.
France was a big corporation, and then on the other side, England would be, you know, the Union.
So our play starts with Hal.
Whiskey I cry. If I don't have rye whiskey, I surely will die.
Partying with this guy Falstaff, not really living up to his father's reputation. His father is the leader of the Union, but then his father dies.
Henry England, elected to Union Chief, position of Local 938, previously occupied by his father.
He really has to take a lot more responsibility that than he's ever had to deal with before.
The sum of all our answer is but this: we workers would not seek a battle as we are, nor as we are. We say we will not shun it.
Cry God for Harry, the Union, and the working man!
Hal definitely does come into his own, and he emerges as a hero.
And then at the end, you can kind of see like the beginnings of corruption.
When he falls in love with Catherine, who's the daughter of France, sort of sellout?
Yeah, he sells out.
It's kind of a little, I think, up in the air.
He stays at the top with his high society bride and sort of in a way becomes the boss, and all of the work that he did in the Union over the ages comes undone.
A story is a story, and the idea of a guy who loved to carouse and go into the bars, who basically reforms and becomes, you know, a leader, is a good story. It never goes out of date.
Romeo and Juliet is not a West Side Story, but it's not that much of a stretch.
The character of Hal, who basically leads the Union, is based off of, you know, a number of charismatic Union leaders, but mainly Walter Reuther.
His father was a big Union guy, and he was never really a big part of that. And so he went off to college, and then, just like in our play, his father got sick and passed away, and he came back and became a figure in the Union.
The people who were in the struggle were in it for survival. It wasn't just a whim, it was an essential cause that they needed to get through life. Before the benefits of collective bargaining, the workers were really abused and taken advantage of and had very little and often didn't survive it.
Killed you, Joe. They shot you, Joe, says I. Takes more than guns to kill a man. Says Joe, I didn't die. Says Joe, I didn't die.
It really did lead to the era of labor peace and those jobs becoming middle-class jobs, so people could, you know, have some participation in the workplace and a good salary and a vacation and health care.
I think it's very easy to kind of fall into the mindset that if something isn't happening right now, it's not relevant. And I think David did a really good job of making sure that the issues that occurred in the show are still relevant and they still need our attention.
It kind of resonates with a lot of people who are, still suffering from the recession, protesting for higher pay. It's really about current events, the entire play.
David was always like relating this, and he's like, you guys are going to inherit this economy, like you guys are going to be having to talk about these things in just a couple of years. You're going to have to be deciding like on how to finance your mortgages and like whether or not you'll raise families and stuff.
That's something we're looking forward to.
The extraordinary thing about Shakespeare is that within the plays, you have a comprehensive universe, so they really explain things that are happening today.
Progressives fight to increase minimum wage. Labor movement stirring again.
April 5, 2014, Maryland increases minimum wage to $10.10 an hour.
We did have a lot of actual union input on the show. David sent out word to a lot of local union leaders. A lot of people were really excited for the show. So there was a special performance for members of the Department of Labor. There was a full house, so that's kind of cool.
I've never experienced anything like that with Lumina before. It was this true what theater can be.
We have a theater here, which I insist it's the best youth Shakespeare company in America. And it actually has a real influence in terms of the way that people are seeing the world around here.
It's less about what they did, and it's more about the fact that they stuck together.
Loyalty is a big part of the show. As a company, you learn to work well with other people. You learn to put the show above everything else. It was the same kind of thing in the unions. It was about the greater picture.
We're all on the same team.
Yeah, you're all rooting for the same cause.
I think everyone was more aware of the feeling of the play. The feeling of really, really being passionate for something and really wanting for something to happen even though you're being pushed down, It was the feeling that I think most people understood and were trying to bring to their parts.
Shakespeare is big enough and his ideas are big enough to really encompass almost any modern day topic. I think being adventurous is just part of what we're supposed to be doing.